Good evening, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Today is Friday, the 16th of May, 2025. It is 9 p.m. local time here in Australia. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all been blessed. A long time no chit chat. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters. The story I have to tell in the last however long it was since I made my last video. So much stuff has happened, and yeah, let's just say I'll try and wrap it up in a nutshell. Basically, the father of my kids, you know the story, we separated because of DV, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he got diagnosed with bowel cancer. Me having the heart that I do brought him back into my life and looked after him and everything like that. And anyway, long story short, bad news. It wasn't good for me or my soul or my spirit. And it was only like last week. Yeah, he pretty much, we had to separate because it was not good. It was not good. It really was not good. Anyway, so I am back to doing a video, and I thought, what am I going to do? And I got a word pad out, and I thought, I'll put some bits and pieces on. I thought, nah, you know what? I just don't want to put the effort into all that. I'm just going to talk to you like my brothers and sisters, okay? Because, oh my goodness, we are living in a time like no other. And the reason I have this screen up here is because a big motivation for me and a big purpose for me is I'm on a journey, and I have been, and you guys know from my last videos and pretty much since the end of last year, 2024, I've been on a journey of deconstructing from Christianity. Okay, don't get me wrong, I love Father with all my heart, soul, mind, and every essence of my body. I love Jesus with all my heart, soul, and mind, and every essence of my body. But I don't like religion, and I can, like, the blinders are off. I can see, no. I can see the, anyway. So basically, I've been going through a huge awakening, if you would call it. I'm not woke, but I'm awakened to the fact that every single thing we've ever been told is a lie. And that's cool. Bravo to the enemy. Bravo. That's all he can do is be a liar. Literally. And in saying that, here we are. Where are we? I want to say, because that's funny that I just said that, because there was one verse here. It said, your father is the devil. He was a liar from the beginning. Anyway, I get sidetracked. But that's it. The devil was a liar from the beginning. And, bravo to him. He played a good game. But all of the evil cabal, the elite, whatever you want to call them, or the deletes, their time's up. And basically, the video I want to do tonight is just have a chit chat, reassure you, brothers and sisters, that we are all gravy. And when I say gravy, that literally means the best of the best, because I am a chip and gravy connoisseur. So when I say it's all gravy, it means it's the best of the best. It really is. But in saying that, it is awesome. It's fantastic. But we are on... I know it's trippy. I know we've been lied to. I know we've been programmed. But we're on a 4D, 3D timeline. And we're running out of time, brothers and sisters. We're literally running out of time. Either you go to 3D and you're going to go through all the tribulation. You're going to go through all the... Look, I'm going to bring up, just so I remember, I'm going to bring up a Bible Gateway. And I'm going to show you something. But let's get back to what I was saying. You're either on a 3D or a 4D timeline, okay? I just want to bring up the Geneva Bible here. The book of Revelation. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to that. So, you're either on a 3D or a 4D timeline. And I drew it here. Okay. Now, I'm going to blab on a lot in this video because literally, like I said, I put together this amount of stuff and then I was like, nah, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to talk. Even if I'm just rambling on for an hour, I'm going to just chit chat, okay? I truly believe this statement, 3D to 4D dimension shift is very close. I believe it's so close, it's not even funny. And this is like, this all comes, if you want to be like, take the Bible for a matter of fact, this is like, you know, the sheep and the goats. You have to get on one side or the other, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, we are coming so close to this shift or this rapture or this ascension, whatever you want to call it, okay? Whatever you want to call it. We are coming so close to it. It's not even funny. And I'm feeling like because I've been freed from, you know, just being the person that I was looking after that, you know, my ex and stuff. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. The point of this video, like I said, is because I've got a big heart for all of my beautiful brothers and sisters, okay? All of the children of God, all of the wonderful souls, and not souls, because souls, I've always said, is what we've got on this earth, because it says in Genesis 1 that, you know, or Genesis 2, that the breath was breathed into the nostril and we became a living soul. Just, I want to say something on that. Apparently, with all this disclosure and stuff that's happening now, the Pentagon has said, oh, guess what? The Anunnaki is coming back to Earth. Well, duh. They're literally the people, brothers and sisters, the Anunnaki, that made our avatar, our meat suit, okay? Our spirit belongs to Father, Source, God, whatever you want to call him. Always, forever. That's never going to be touched. But unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that our avatar, our body, our meat suit was made by the Anunnaki. Okay, this is the whole trick. This is the prison. Anyway, whatever. I'm getting sidetracked again. So, this is where I believe we are right now. 3D and 4D are touching right now. 4D is like, we believe on heaven on earth. Okay, heaven on earth. And like Jesus said, you cannot observe heaven, the kingdom of heaven. You cannot observe it with your eyes because it is within you. Brothers and sisters, I need you to understand this. You need to break away from the doctrine, the religious doctrine. It is part of the programming, it's part of the matrix, it's part of the system, it's part of the 3D, you know, hold on you. Because if you're going to believe the 3D tribulation and the 3D, like, you know, you have to die for, you have to die for Jesus and all this kind of stuff, that's what you're going to get. Because in this game, in the humanitarian game that we're playing right now, we're all playing a game, a simulation. We are playing what we believe. If you believe that you're going to go through a great tribulation, you're going to get your head cut off, you're going to get your kids taken away from you in FEMA camps, that's what you're going to get. And I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, it's literally a trick. It's a bad delusion, okay? It's a deception. Don't believe any man, brothers and sisters. Don't believe any man. Go through the book of Mark. I'll say this again for the people in the back. But the book of Mark is the original gospel, okay? Matthew and Luke copied off Mark, And where Mark got his, contents from is from the Gospel of Thomas, which is the 114 sayings of Jesus. Notice in Mark, there's no birth story, okay? There's no birth story. It starts at Jesus' baptism, and it also ends as Jesus dies, okay? Because Mark 16 verses 9 to 20 are added, and you can look at any other Bible, and it'll say in the little footnotes that Mark 16, 9 to 20 was added. Okay, that's the resurrection story. So what I'm trying to say is, in Mark, the original gospel, as close as you're going to get, there's no birth story, there's no death story, and that's significant. That's totally significant, because in the Gospel of Thomas, which is Q source, that means many biblical scholars or whatever have agreed that the Q source is the Gospel of Thomas. And the Q source means the very beginning, and that all the scholars have said that Matthew and Luke and stuff have got their contents from this Gospel of Thomas, the Q source, okay? Okay, so the Gospel of Thomas is 114 sayings of Jesus. There's no drama, there's no birth story, there's no resurrection, there's no death, there's no nothing. And so we have to really look at this, brothers and sisters. Okay, I want to bring this point to you now. Paul, check this out for yourself, because I'm just going to give you the facts, okay? You need to research this stuff for yourself. Paul is a Herodian. He's literally an ancestor of Herod. Okay, that's the whole reason that when Paul was Saul, he went around murdering everyone. That's why he had the authority to murder all the Christians. Okay? He was maybe the nephew of a very close relative to Herod, who was the one who tried to get rid of anybody under 3, when Jesus was born, and then also John the Baptist, right? There you go, brothers and sisters. And notice that Paul, which writes about 80% of the New Testament, okay? He's very clear in his parts of the New Testament, what he writes, that he says, this is my gospel. And Paul is actually the one that says, you have to believe that Jesus died on the cross. You have to believe that you're covered in the blood of Jesus. You have to believe in the death, resurrection, the burial, all that crap. Paul is the one that says this. Jesus, Yeshua, he never says this, brothers and sisters. And this is what we need to understand. We need to read and understand from our own heart, from our own soul, from our own spirit, and realize we've been lied to so bad. And even Yeshua Jesus himself said, you guys are going to do so much greater than I have ever done. So the point that I'm trying to say here is, Jesus never told us that you have to go around saying, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. That goes back to the Yahweh, the Old Testament, where, again, for those of you who are new, I don't believe that the Old Testament God is our Father in heaven, God's source, Father. I believe he's not good. I believe he's part of the Anunnaki and the Elohim and all the fallen angels, all that stuff. Okay, I believe we've been trapped here. I believe whatever happened right at the beginning, that's why it says that your name is in the book of life from the beginning, the foundations of the world, because we've been here from the beginning, brothers and sisters. Reincarnation is an absolute thing. Again, because let me just have a sip. Okay. Reincarnation is a thing, because remember when, I think it might have been Peter, he went up to Jesus and said, or Jesus said to him, "Who do you say that I am?" And Peter was like, "Oh, some say you're John the Baptist and others say you're Elijah." Okay, notice those two people were unalived. They weren't around anymore. Jesus never said, "Oh, you're silly because those two people are unalived. They're not around anymore." No, Jesus didn't say that. Jesus said, "Oh, okay. All right, Peter, who do you say that I am?" Okay, reincarnation is a thing, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, Jesus never demonized it or said that's not a thing. He had a perfect opportunity to say, okay, how can you say I'm Elijah or John the Baptist because both those people are unalived? He didn't, because like it says, your name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life from the foundations of the world. That means you've been here. You've just been reincarnated in every human cycle that we've had from the beginning. We've been trapped here, brothers and sisters. But guess what? The wonderful news is this is the last cycle. This is the last reincarnation cycle. We're done. We've awakened. We've awakened to the lies, to the deception. Because, like the book of Daniel said, the knowledge will go to and fro and the knowledge will increase, okay? The knowledge will increase. That's because of the internet. The internet, okay? My favourite saying, my favourite verse in the whole Bible is, wherever sin is, wherever sin is, grace abounds more so. So, wherever evil or the devil has tried to do something to us, for example, the internet, the world web, the spider web to trap us, okay, the devil created this, but guess what? By creating the internet, it created a place where we can very quickly, like Daniel said, knowledge to and fro very quickly. And we were able to share knowledge with each other. And it's the same every circumstance when you look through history where, the evil has tried to put something on us. Guess what? Grace has abounded more so. And we've become a better people and we've been able to awaken to the deception. So what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is the last couple of videos that I made, however many months ago I made them, I was explaining that we're at the pivotal point right now. See these two worlds? They're literally just about to split apart. We've got the 3D world, the 4D world. The book of Revelation, brothers and sisters, and I'll show you this, okay? I was telling my parents this the other day. It's a brilliant plan what they've done. If you go to the book of Revelation, right, and you go to the Geneva Bible, 1599. Now, you got to know a little bit of history behind the Geneva Bible. This is the Bible that was created when the people of England that fled from England because of the persecution that they were going through. And they came over on the Mayflower, the ship and everything like this. When they came over to America, they created the Geneva Bible, okay? It was the first Bible that they created, and it was the first Bible that had footnotes. So it was basically a safety thing. They wanted to create a Bible. They wanted to rewrite the Bible, not rewrite it, but write it down to have it protected and then write footnotes, what it was all about. Okay? And this particular Bible, this is the one that they gave to King James. Okay? The King James version. King James, right? And basically they were saying this Bible needs to be given to everybody. And what King James did was because he was a king, right? Not a legitimate king, but he was a king. He looked through it and it was he literally took out all of the verses that would affect his kingship. Okay, for example, the verse where it says, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities of the air. Well, In the Geneva Bible, it says we fight not against flesh and blood, but worldly governments and principalities of the air. Okay, so King James took it upon himself to remove that verse. Anyway, I get sidetracked. But what I want to say with this Geneva Bible translation, brothers and sisters, like I said, they were the one who put footnotes on it. And I want to explain to you that in the Geneva, I'm not going to look for it now because it's probably going to make me sidetracked or whatever, but you do this study to prove, if you want to prove me wrong or whatever, you do this study. Go to BibleGateway.com, get the Geneva Bible, $15.99, the first one, first translation, okay? And go have a look at the beast, okay? The beast of Revelation. It'll clearly show you in the footnotes that it is Nero, okay? The beast of Revelation is Nero. The 666, all that has already happened. Like I said, I'm not going to show you, but you do this yourself to show yourself approved in study, right? Go to the Geneva Bible, go through Revelation, go through all 22 chapters of Revelation. Look at all the little footnotes. These footnotes here, where it says A, so you can click on it. There's a footnote, see, and you can read about it. Okay. Go through all of them, and when it talks about the beast and everything like that, it'll tell you it is Nero. And when you go and study Nero, he was literally worse than, Hitler, he unalived his mother and brothers and sisters, whatever, to get to where he was, and he did a whole lot of bad stuff, and people say to this day he was still the worst person in history to ever exist, okay? And he was very, very, very much the enemy of Christians, very much. He was the one that did all the, fire staking and lions, colosseums and all that kind of crap. It was Nero. And to throw more evidence onto the table, back in Nero's day, there was this scroll named the Libellus. Again, research it yourself. Libellus. Okay, and you had to carry this scroll, this Libellus, around with you if you wanted to buy and sell in the marketplace. Okay, and what this Libellus or this scroll said was, I would give my homage and my incense and worship to the pagan, statues that were around the marketplace. Okay. Brothers and sisters, please know that we've been deceived. This is all already in the past. All already in the past. Okay. Like I said, go have a look at the Geneva Bible. You'll see that it's talking about Nero. And go research the Libellus. I think it's Libellus, Libellus. It was a scroll you had to have to buy and sell in the marketplace. All of this has already happened. Matthew 24, brothers and sisters, has already happened. Look, let's go. We'll go. The only way to show you, okay, we're going to go to King James though, because Geneva is pretty old school in the wording and stuff. I want to show you something. Okay. All right. So basically we've got here, we shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. The end is not yet. So in the time between Jesus's crucifixion and 70 AD, there were lots of wars. There was the Viking Wars, there were the Ostrogoths. Oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce the names. But there was a whole heap of kingdoms literally in Europe fighting around that area. It was literally wars and rumors of wars, okay, and kingdom against kingdoms. We don't have kingdoms anymore, brothers and sisters, so this already had taken place. Okay, so when ye therefore shall see the abomination and desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. Okay, let's do this one. Let's go to Daniel. You can go to the book of Daniel and you can type in, like up here, you can type in a word search, right? If you type in the word abomination or desolation, whatever, and then click on the book of Daniel, you'll see the word abomination or desolation in Daniel 3 times. You have to keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that when Daniel had this supposed vision, the second temple had not even been built yet. For some reason, Christians this day and age think that Daniel was prophesying of this third temple. No, brothers and sisters. Back when Daniel had this vision, the second temple hadn't even been built yet. And you can go into the Apocrypha book of Maccabees and you can see when the second temple was built, Antiochus Epiphanes came into that temple, desolated it big time, put the statue of Zeus up and slaughtered a pig on the altar and desecrated the temple. Okay, this is what Daniel was talking about. And that happened in like 163 BC. Okay, this is what Daniel was talking about. And here we go. Okay, now we're starting another bit. And that let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains. 1, Judea doesn't exist anymore. And woe unto them that are with child and that give suck in them days. Okay, so in other words, to women, breastfeeding women, pregnant women, okay? Pray that your flight is not in the winter nor on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation such as not since the beginning of the world to this time or shall ever be. Okay, so the great tribulation shall be the worst time in history. It's never been as bad before and never afterwards, okay? Right. So the reason that it said here, pray your flight is not in the winter nor the Sabbath day, was because in the year 66 AD, okay, 66 AD, the Romans first penetrated the Jewish Jerusalem, okay, Jerusalem, the walls. That was the first time, and they waited until Passover on the Sabbath day because they knew not only was all the people from all around the area, from all the places, going to Jerusalem to celebrate Passover. They knew that they would all be in the temple and that, the doors would be shut or whatever on the Sabbath day. The Romans were very smart. Okay, that's why it said pray, that it wasn't in the winter or the Sabbath day. Remember that Passover is just coming out after winter. Okay, it's just coming into spring. So, all these people, hundreds of thousands of people have come to gather from all around into Jerusalem to celebrate Passover in the year 66 AD, right? And that's why it says this. And then it says, for then shall be great tribulation. And you know why it was great tribulation? Because the Roman, Titus, all that, the Romans came and they started to try and penetrate, catapult their bombs or, cannons, whatever weaponry they had to try and break this wall. But the wall of Jerusalem was very thick and very big, right? So that's why it says here, when you see this happen, those in Judea flee to the mountains, okay? Because those people in Judea, which doesn't exist to this day, Judea, the place, but those in Judea in 66, when they first saw this first attack from the Romans, they were like, okay, this is what we've been told by Jesus. by the Essenes, by the Nazarenes. Okay, we've been told this. When we see this, we must flee straight away, not to wait. So those in Judea, which was right close to the attack of the wall, they were like, right, let's do this. They listened and they got out and they went to Petra, the place in the hill. Okay, so the rest of the people stayed on. Okay, they didn't listen. And basically what happened was they were so zealous of their temple that from 66 to 70, 3.5 years later, basically they were so zealous of their temple that all they did was protect the temple and forget to sow their crops. So what happened in the year 67 AD is they were like, oh crap, we've got no food. This is where it says, there's going to be famine. Where is it? There's going to be famine and everything like this. Because, like I said, they didn't sow their crops because they were so zealous of their temple and thinking, this is the most important thing. We have to protect the temple. This is why the first thing in Matthew 24 was the disciples saying, look at the temple. And Jesus saying, all these things will be thrown down. Okay. So, yeah. So then it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, no, nor shall ever shall be. Okay, so this is the whole reason why it was so bad. Because not only did they forget to sow their crops and things like that, and they were like, oh crap, we've got no food. So what happened, and you can research this again for yourself. What happened is the people were starving. They had no crops. They had no harvest or anything like that. So in the middle of the night, like mind you, from 66 AD until 70, the Roman army kept coming back and trying to penetrate this wall. And, they kept chipping at it. And then they were like, all right, we need to retreat, go back to our camp, re-strategize, blah, blah, blah. And so this went on for 3.5 years, brothers and sisters, 1,260 days, right? And so anyway, as they were doing this, these Jewish people, the people in that were trapped in there now, because, and here's the thing. Let's go here quickly. We're going to go to Luke 19. It says it very clearly. Okay. This is Jesus, right? He says, for the day shall come upon you that your enemies shall cast a trench about you and compass all around and keep you on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground and your children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because you didn't know the time of my visitation. So here we have, brothers and sisters, Jesus is saying, when he was still alive, he was like, you know what? Because you're about to do what you're going to do, the days are going to come upon you that your enemies are going to cast a big trench around Jerusalem. Okay, and that's exactly what they did. And it says, and compass thee around. What does it say in Luke 21? It says, when you therefore see the armies compassing around Jerusalem, the desolation thereof is nigh. Okay, so in other words, they built a big trench around them. They built a big army around Jerusalem. And here it says, and they're going to lay you to the ground with your children. Now, this is important because when Jesus was on the cross, the women, it says, were weeping for him. And Jesus said, women, don't weep for me. Weep for yourselves and your children. This is exactly what he's talking about, because not only didn't they sow a harvest, brothers and sisters, but they were so hungry that in the night time they would quickly try and sneak out and get a few blades of grass. Okay, a lot of them would get killed doing this. But it got so bad that they ended up eating their children. Okay? And this is what Jesus was saying. Don't cry for me, cry for yourself and your children, because the days are coming on you because you didn't know the time of my visitation. And again, I want to reiterate in Matthew the story of, fathers like, oh, my feast is ready, the invitations are sent out. And then they came back. Some of them were like, oh, sorry, I'm doing something, I can't make it. Others were like, oh, I've got to be looking after this, sorry, I can't make it. And then, blah, 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 down the story, father's like, all right, well, I'll send my son. Surely they'll listen to him. Long story short, they killed him. And then it says at the end of that parable that it made father wrath and angry. This is it, brothers and sisters. This is what made father wrath and angry, that they killed his son. And that was dealt with back in 70 AD. Even in the book of the Antiquities of the Jews, okay, by Josephus, it talks about the chariots in the sky, the rapture, and all that's happened, brothers and sisters. It's all happened. Right now, we're waiting for the new heavens and the new earth to happen. But, like I said, you have a choice of being, if you want to believe the book of Revelation, which is done, dusted, and done, but, they're using it over and over in every generation, in every reincarnation cycle. They're using it to keep you trapped and in control of fear, of, you need to be, you're unworthy and you need to grovel, and, everything you do is like a filthy rag compared to what Jesus did to you. That's crap. Jesus loves you. Yeshua loves you so much. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters, you are so worthy. You are so valued. You are so loved. You are light. You are essence. You are a fractal of the Almighty, of the source. Like, we've been lied to so much, brothers and sisters. And look, I'm just going to read you this, what I wrote here. I said, the time is very close where we need to choose either the golden age or the great tribulation timeline. We need to overcome the programming of fear that the cabal has set in place for us. Choose love, choose joy, choose light. Jesus specifically said, the kingdom of heaven is something you cannot observe, for it is within you. Do not look outwards for a savior, brothers and sisters, for the truth is within you. Trump. Okay, this before I start this, I need to preface a little softening of the heart. This is my opinion only, okay? And it might not resonate with you, that's cool. And it may shock you when I say this, but I'm going to be bold and just say it, okay? Trump is the new Christ or Messiah or anointed one, okay? Because remember, they're rulers or anointed ones, whatever, okay? Because Jesus himself said, because remember this verse, when the disciples came up to him and said, good master, where are we going to make your Passover dinner? Where we're going to put it together? And then Jesus said, go into the house of the man holding a pitcher of water. He said, there you'll go into the upper room and it'll be fully furnished and ready to go, right? I think Jesus was talking about little Trump. Because, get this, the age of Aquarius, because Aquarius is literally that, a man holding a pitcher of water. Aquarius, the age of Aquarius officially started on November 19th, 2024, 8 days after Trump was elected. I literally think Jesus was saying, go into that house, meaning the astrological house. And that's why they've tried to demonize astrology and all this kind of stuff. But just like anything, just like crystals, just like anything they've tried to demonize, it's all BS. brothers and sisters. I literally think Trump is the new Christ, the new Messiah, the new anointed one. I'm not saying he's Jesus. I'm not saying he's the Son of God, but I'm saying I think Jesus has told us ahead of time, when you see this person, go with him, okay? And I want to reiterate again, brothers and sisters, there's some of you out there that are going to be like, oh, I'm so wary of Trump. I'm so wary of Elon. You know, they seem good, but whatever. Okay. Again, 3D, 4D world, brothers and sisters. There's going to be a bad Trump, bad Elon, good Trump, good Elon. Okay? Bad Trump is going to bring in, like, you know, one world government and the tribulation and all this. Yes, he will. Absolutely. And Elon's going to bring in the neurochip, the chip in the head and the mark of the beast. Absolutely, because that's what people believe. But the 4D world, brothers and sisters, Trump is literally bringing in a digital system which literally makes every country on earth have equal money. And everybody is, and this is why we're living in the Jubilee. Okay, when the Queen passed away, it got rid of the monarchy. When the Pope passed away, it got rid of religious control. We are literally ready and lined up for the best golden age if you want it, if you believe in it, if you can allow and open up your heart to it, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, okay? In the 4D world, Trump is freaking awesome and I love him. And I'm on the 4D train, baby. I'm on the 4D train. Trump is literally going around the world making peace. And see, in the 3D world, anybody making peace, oh, that's evil, right? Because that's how they programmed you, to believe that anyone who makes peace and anyone who does anything good is bad. Okay? Please, brothers and sisters, please open your mind, open your heart, understand what I'm trying to say here. 4D world, okay, that Neuralink that Elon created, okay, in a 3D world, people say, oh, that's the mark of the beast, that's the chip in the head. In the 4D world, Elon literally created that Neuralink to create fix paraplegic, you know, somebody who's paralyzed, and to also fix blindness and stuff like this. This is what you need to understand. There's literally two sides playing out right now, but they're about to split any second now. Any second now, there's going to be this shift, brothers and sisters, whether it's a rapture, whether it's ascension, whether it's the solar shift, whether it's the polar shift, whether it's the whatever. Okay, because none of us know the real absolute truth. But it's getting very, 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 very clear that there's two sides to this story. And what's going to happen to the 3D world is they're going to live out the Great Tribulation, because that's what they believe. That's what they... You know, all these rapture-wanting people who want to be out of here because their life's so bad and all this kind of stuff. No, brothers and sisters, you need to talk to yourself. You need to tell yourself. You need to reprogram your mind to say, I am so grateful for life. I'm so grateful for my, you know, just for everything, for my family, for my breath, for the roof over my head, for the clothes on my body, for the hot showers that I can have at night. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Or you can live in the fear-based world. It's up to you. It really is. But we're getting very, very close to the end, brothers and sisters. I cannot stress that enough. I can literally not stress that enough. And, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, so one thing I just wanted to mention before I don't. Trump's over in Saudi Arabia, okay, talking to the prince over there, and that's amazing in itself. Notice he's wearing purple, okay. When he came off the plane, he had a purple carpet that came off the plane and onto the... you know, the driveway, whatever. And the prince himself actually came and greeted him, which never has happened before. His when he first was president in 2016, he went around and literally, I truly believe he made agreements with all the nations. He was like, I'm sick of the cabal, I'm sick of the evil, let's work for good. And they all agreed and shook hands, and now we're seeing the fruition of it all. We're seeing the final things play out. I'm so happy. I just wanted to jump on here, give my 2 cents, and hopefully you guys are, look, the purple, why is purple considered the colour of royalty? It's royalty, baby. I'm telling you. I totally don't mind if Trump becomes king of the world. I totally don't mind. People are like, how do you tell if Trump's good, or how do you tell if he's evil, or, how do you tell if he's been deceptive? This is my advice. It is purely what Jesus said. He said, a good tree cannot produce bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Look at all the good Trump's done. Look at all the good Trump's done. He cannot produce bad fruit, baby. He is a good guy. Get on the right side. Don't go down the fear. Don't go down the tribulation. It's already done, okay? They're just using this. They're recycling it. It's like a reincarnation fear-based programming. Please, brothers and sisters, please. This is, I don't know when I'm going to do another video, because this is literally, just get on there, girl. Do your thing. But I feel like it's like a last-ditch effort to beg and plead to all my beautiful brothers and sisters, anyone who wants to listen to me, get on the right side of the train, because it's about to split, baby. It's about to go 3D, 4D, and you don't want to be on 3D. You want to be on the new heavens, the new earth, like Jesus said. It ain't something you can observe. It's in you, okay? Everything. Evil wickedness is not going to be able to exist on the new heavens and the new earth. But we ain't going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, brothers and sisters. It's going to be a new heaven and new earth without all the crap. It's going to be fantastic. So get on the right side of the train. Get on the right side of the train. I'm going to leave it with that, not make it too long. I love you so much. I'm so happy to jump on here and give my 2 cents worth, and I hope I haven't blabbed on too much. But yeah, I love you so much. And just know, the only thing that matters is, like Jesus said, the greatest of the 2 commandments are love Father, source, with all your heart, soul and mind, and love each other like you love yourself. That's literally all you have to worry about. Jesus told you that. Okay, that's nothing else you have to worry about except loving Father, loving Source, and loving each other, and everything else will fall into place. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you so much. May Father bless you. May Yeshua bless you. And I pray abundance and blessing and love and light and healing and mercy on every single one of you. I love you so much. All right, God bless you. Bye.